Hello friends. Hello friends. Started.
Hello and Namaskar. Welcome to this third session, part 3 about Excel for bank audit. Today we'll be talking about how to use Excel for verifying the expenses while doing your bank branch audit. Friends, you all are aware we are very good at doing our bank audit by verification of loan, classification of advances, checking of revenue leakage, verification of documents and whatnot. But a very important aspect is generally ignored, that is verification of expenses. Sometimes these expenses are checked only to see whether the TDS compliance has been done or not. So in today's session, we'll be discussing about how these expenses to be extracted into Excel format and then what you can do out of that extracted file. Like in Finacle, you can always generate all GL ledgers, general ledgers for all the expenses. And once you generate these GL ledgers, you will find various ledgers like vice printing, stationery, security, entertainment, traveling, and so on and so forth. Once these ledger are extracted, you can convert them into Excel, and after converting them into Excel, you can have various observations and audit, like whether the provisions are being done or not, whether the provisions are reversed or not. You can have your analysis, trained analysis. You can check whether TDS has been deducted or not. You can also check whether GST which has been charged into the bill, whether the credit has been taken, even in the case where reverse charge mechanism is applicable, like security services, whether GST has been paid on those particular services or not. So there are various things which one can very well do by using Excel as an audit tool. As always, today again I'll be having my good friend CA Dhananjay Gokhale with us, and who will be taking us through the use of Excel while verifying these expenses. Over to you, Dhananjay.
Thank you, Abhijit sir. And I would like to specially mention, friends, nowadays, since with the outbreak of Corona, we are all, even big companies are shifting to the online sessions, online based sessions. So I think this is just one of the effort to being conduct an online session. So,
Yes,
sir,
yes.
can we say that even without visiting or having physical session with online session, even our members can have means
See, Dhananjay, you can see that worldwide events are being cancelled because of this havoc of Corona, and I believe our session, like sessions online, are they would be a boon for the practitioner, and more such sessions should be conducted so that bank audit is inevitable. Any everybody who is appointed is required to do that. These kind of sessions will help the members to upgrade their knowledge and perform their audit more effectively.
so friends. Now coming to the topic, I guess many of you during the bank audit must not have asked for the, or generally I have seen that when you ask your branch manager or staff that we want to check expenses, so they hand us a file, a big sum, 4 to 5 files, and they give a large, very large printout, let's say around 40 to 50 pages printout, and half of the expense ledger are blank, and it is very difficult to check that means especially in the provisions, that whether it is reverse or not. So in this session I would be demonstrating you, I have actually with me a live bank file, a Finacle based GL report which I have extracted, and I will be demonstrating you how to import that report into Excel. So first of all, I think the very first step would be you have to insist branch manager that please generate a report. Now branch manager may not be knowing this, so please speak to your concerned IT person of bank and please get this report extracted. Sir,
Report, he mean to say the GL report of all the expenses.
okay, so now I will switch my screen. Okay, friends, as you can see my screen, uh, first let me show you. First, let me show you a report, Finacle report, a sample report which I extracted from the banking system. So now you can open this report using Notepad also. But basically in Finacle report you get with the extension .rpt. So what you can do, simply just rename this file and just remove the extension rpt and instead of put it as txt. Okay, you can just simply rename this file to .txt and just ignore the warning, just press yes. Okay, now let's right click and open it with using your standard notepad. Okay, let us see that. Let me show you the report. Okay, so this is the type of report. Generally, you see, generally many ledgers are blank, like there are no transactions. Now, just imagine how big is it. So if I scroll it, okay, so it is enormous, friends. It is enormous, and if you are planning to print it, then I think you are just wasting your time. See how many pages I think they are gone. Page number you can see. Okay, 78, 79 pages. So uh, even Abhijit sir would agree that now CAs need to be eco. Even we are also ICI is
Environment
also yes
friendly.
environment
Yes, yes. Go
friendly.
green.
So with in this go green era, if you are printing this 79 pages, so you are just wasting your time and bank's money. So let us not do it and do it very intelligently via Excel. Okay, so you can view, first of all, view the report. So this is something you get. And in GL report, let me just guide brief you about the report. This report is not about specific account. If you see this, it is a range, it is a complete general ledger range of all the expenses accounts. So they are using from to method, they have actually exported all the ledgers, expense ledger I can say, of the specific branch. So now how to import it? Next question. It's very simple. Select all this text. Select all this text. Okay, friends. Select all this text. Just a minute.
There is a message which says your screen looking blurred.
Friends, I would insist that you please adjust your YouTube setting to HD. Okay, there is an option in YouTube setting. Please turn it to HD video 720 720p. So you would not see a blurred screen at very better screen.
Please adjust it to HD.
Okay, so I am selecting this complete record. Control A, and I will right click it, copy it, and I will launch Excel. So you have to launch Excel. Okay, let us start Excel, and now we can just paste it directly. We can paste it. So I will directly paste it. Okay, now this report you cannot directly import. This report you cannot actually directly import. So you have to, what you have to do, screen, okay.
Manage it, okay.
Okay, so friends, let me adjust our net quality. Waiting. मी एक विंडो ओपन करता हूँ. नेट द रेंज थोड़ी सी. Friends, give us a minute. We are adjusting your internet quality. तुम्ही त्यांना फोन करून विचारू शकता का एकदम नेट क्वालिटी ये स्क्रीन इज. फ्रेंड्स, जस्ट गिव अस अ मिनिट. वी आर ॲडजस्टिंग आवर इंटरनेट. इथे थोडीशी आज नेटचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे. अच्छा, आता ग्रीन झाला. ओके, आय थिंक इंटरनेट कनेक्टिव्हिटी इज रिस्टोर्ड. Okay, do let us know on the YouTube chat. Okay, YouTube live chat.
Okay.
Okay, friends. So we have just confirmed that internet is running
Working properly,
working properly. Okay, so let us continue. So after you copy paste it, what I had done, I have copy pasted the complete text I opened from Notepad into Excel. Okay, now after this, you need to demarcate this data. You need to actually demarcate this data or delimit this data into columns. So what you have to do, you have to just simply select the complete column A where you have pasted this, then go to the data tab and please choose text to column. Okay, so in the text to column you can see such type of data import window. So now Finacle report, as I have already shared with you in the last session, Finacle reports are generally dot matrix printer friendly. Okay, they are not laser printer friendly, but mostly intended for dot matrix. I think, sir, it is intended for big, that 132 column papers. So it is in fixed width format. Okay, so we need to demarcate properly into columnar data. Okay, so let us press next. Please choose fixed width and press next. Okay, now Excel attempts to put some columns, insert some column, but 90% chance these columns are never correct. Okay, 90% cases this column will never be correct. So we will have to take the help of Notepad to demarcate this column. So I will again switch back my Notepad file and I will zoom this a bit. Okay, first let us grab some data so that we can demarcate it with some columns. Okay, so I have got some data. Now in Notepad, like in date column, okay, like this is date column. So if you see at this bottom window, COL12, that means we are here on the column number 12. Okay, so we need to find corresponding column number in the Excel. So let me scroll down at the bottom and let us grab some data. Okay, let us grab some data. Let us try to grab at least some rows of data. Now friends, this task is a bit tricky. If you are able to grab some data, even if single row of data, you can easily import any rows of data. Okay, I will just try to grab some data. So that I can properly demonstrate what I mean to do. Now I think many ledgers are actually blank in our scenario. So let me search for if there is any transaction. Okay, if you get even single row of data, so you will have to scroll a bit. Just friends, give a minute. I will try to search if I get any rows. Okay, if I get any rows of data. Okay, I think there was, I just found some data. Okay, friends, now let us demarcate the columns. Let us start demarcating the columns. So there is a date column ends here. Okay, so I will click here and you get a column demarcation. Okay, so we have the column ending is at column number 11. Okay, so column number 11 date ends here. Now let us try here in Notepad they are writing column number 12. Okay, so there is a difference of 1 because in Notepad column starts with 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, numbering starts with 1 2 3 4 5 6, but in Excel numbering starts with 0. Okay, numbering starts with 0, so there would be difference of one column. Okay, so let us demarcate other columns also. So this is the tran id column, and if you want to delete a demarker, just double click it and it gets deleted. Okay, and if you want to shift this demarcator, you can drag it like this. Okay, now let us try to find a column ending. Okay, that where this particular column ends. Okay, so I will again switch back to notepad, and okay, I think most probably at this position this particulars or narration column ends. So let us try what is the position number, column number 64. Okay, so in Excel at column number 63, narration column will come to end. Okay, column number 63, this column ends. Column number 63, let us put to 65, 66. Okay, some extra columns because I don't know where this column ends. Okay, so this is a bit guesswork. Okay, now next debit amount, credit amount and other columns. Okay, this is where I think debit amount ends. Let us try. Okay, 500 debit column ends here. Now about the credit column. Okay, credit column ends here. So this friends, this process is very important. You need to get column ending. Okay, once you get column endings, you can easily grab this. Okay, now there is again now there is again some one more column, sequence number. Okay, now I don't think this column will having any data, much more data, so we can simply put some skip this column. Okay, we'll just put an empty demarker somewhere here, somewhere at this position in Excel. Okay, and after that, now between the balance and debit and credit, I will put one more demarcator. Okay, so that amounts get converted to properly into amount, and let us put one more demarcator after DR and CR. Okay, and rest of the column is optional. Okay, rest of the columns are optional. Okay, now I think we have finished properly demarcated our columns. Okay, as you can see on the screen, we have properly demarcated our columns: date column, transaction ID, narration, debit, credit, then sequence number, balance, DRCR sign, and I think these are some two remarks and notes column. Okay, now press next. Now friends, Excel doesn't know if you are sitting in US or India. Okay, it doesn't know that your dates are into DDMMYY or MMDDYY format. Okay, so you need to specifically instruct Excel that our dates are in DMY format. Okay, DMY format, and after that you can simply press finish. So our data is imported. Okay friends, now our data is imported, but this data is this data needs to be split into columns. Okay, this data needs to be first sanitized. Okay, we need to go to a process called sanitization, where we would be removing extra rows and extra rows of data, and at the end of this we should just be left with the transactional rows and this column headings. Okay, account number, GL head. Okay, so what I mean to say, we are just interested in account number, name of the account, and under which GL it is. Okay, under which GL this account is there. So we will start the process of sanitization, but before that I would like to hand over to Abhijit sir, regarding sir, many people have asked that how. Okay, just let me switch my camera. Sir, many people have asked that how to obtain data in because in SBI I think you don't get data, and in many banks they are not willing to share the data. But according to our auditing standard, sir, we need to get that data to conduct our audit.
See,
so can you
well, there are two aspects to your question. Number one, how to get data, and whether another is whether we have authority to get data. So it is, as you are aware, it is audit under the Company Act, and all the documents are our we have authority to have all the documents, so there is no question that any particular document is not being provided to us. We can always have specific observation about non-availability of certain documents on the one part. Another one is that how to generate data that every system, like here we are talking only about Finacle, but even if any bank is having another type of CBS, likewise in the morning itself somebody asked me whether bank 24 same logic will be applicable or not. So in my humble opinion, that for any kind of system there are set of commands by use of which one can always generate the desired data, and generation of data of expenses is a very simple thing, I would say. So any kind of platform, any kind of software it is using, you just get to know the commands to generate this data. Once the data is generated, next thing you need to have it stored into a notepad. Once this is done, you can very well transfer it to Excel and do whatever you want to do.
Sir, can you just brief us about any management representation regard this if data sharing is there?
See, it is no management representation is always about the entire audit, the scope of the audit. So there is no question of having any specific management representation so far as expenses are concerned. However, on the priority or maybe going to the branch, before going to the branch, you can always ask the manager or the management that this particular set of documents or record you will be requiring, so that they will be ready with that record, or they might be ready. They might say that we are not able to generate this record, or they may say they are not aware of this record. But management representation will always be there, but I believe asking for these kind of ledgers of expenses, one can always have a specific letter before starting the audit and asking for all such kind of
So, sir, you are suggesting that we can have a data privacy agreement signed with the bank, and I think it would be.
It is always there. There is no question of having a separate sign. Once you get the offer from any particular bank, the offer letter includes the confidentiality data. So there is no question. The question is whether we have access to entire data of the bank or not, and the answer is yes.
Okay, sir, friends, again back to the Excel portion. I will switch my screen. Okay, so as you can see my screen, now we have demarcated or delimited our data into columns, multiple columns. Now we need to actually separate it data. Okay. Now we need to properly sanitize data. So let us insert some column heading. Let us insert some column heading. So let us try. Now the first column is about date. Okay, first column is about date. Then the next column is transaction ID. Okay, you can refer this column even from this our report. Okay, first column is transaction date, transaction ID, narration. After that debit, credit, sequence number, balance, and two extra columns. Okay, transaction ID, narration, then debit, credit, balance, and DRCR. Okay, debit credit sign, and after that two columns are extra. I think reference number and remarks and reference number. Okay, there are two more columns, remarks and reference number. Now let us freeze these columns. Okay, let us freeze this column so that when we scroll down, these columns are not scrolled. So first let us make this column bold, this row bold, then we'll shade this a bit, and after that let us freeze this row. Okay, let us freeze this row. Let us freeze this row. Okay, now I think we can start the process of sanitization. Now I intend to keep only those rows. Now I intend to keep only those rows where you are having some date, either you are having some date or which are having some heading, okay, which are having some heading like account number, and so we are interested in these rows where there are transactions, okay. So these rows always start with date, some date, and some other rows and other rows which start with account number, so where we can get that which account does it belongs to, okay, which account does it belongs to. Stream quality it's अक्सर एकदा review करा. बरोबर आहे. Okay friends, just let us know if you experience any streaming problem. Just let us know if you ever experience any streaming problem. Okay, so okay, let me continue. Okay, so the columns, rows which start with date and rows which start with account number, okay, we will keep those rows and we will delete all the rest other rows we will simply delete it, okay. So I will switch back to Excel. And after that, okay, I will just insert filter. So how you can now to insert or insert apply filter, you have to select all the data. So I will put my cursor on the top row, press Ctrl Shift and go to the data and apply filter. Okay, go to data and apply filter. Now after that, after applying filter, we will go to the date column. Okay, we will go to the date column and we will delete all the rows except the date, except the rows containing the date, because these are the rows containing transaction, and except the row which starts with account number, okay, which starts with account number, okay. So I will select it, okay, I will select this first. Okay, so all these other rows, okay, all these rows are just garbage row. We actually don't need these rows. Okay, so before I even proceed, let me save this file. Okay, friends, just let me save this file. Okay, now we will delete all these rows. So how you can delete? Don't select the date column. Just press Ctrl Shift N. Okay, then go to Home and go to Find and Select and go to Special and select only the visible cells, because we don't intend to delete the rows which are hidden, or we can say which are containing the columns. Okay, and press OK. Okay, and after that simply just go to again Home and delete all these rows which are which we have selected just now selected. Okay, now you can just clear this filter and we are left with the rows containing transaction. Okay, so friends, we are left with the rows containing transaction. Now there are some extra rows which contains the page number. Okay, there are some extra rows which actually contain the page number. Okay, so I think we need to delete these rows also. Okay, so I will go to this, select the rows containing page numbers. Okay, and I will just delete this rows. I will just delete these rows. I will again go to Home, find and select, go to Special, visible cells only, and Control minus. Okay, I will delete these selected rows and again I will clear the filters. Okay friends, now we are left with the rows containing transaction, either transaction or heading of the account. Okay, either transaction or heading of the account. Now let us extract account number from account name from this. Okay, so I will insert two columns. I will insert two or three columns. Control plus. Okay, now I want to select all these rows. Now I want to what I want to do, I want to repeat all the rows, like these rows belong to the account traveling expense. Okay, account traveling expense. So I need to repeat traveling expense here. Okay, for all these rows, I need to repeat this traveling expense for all these rows. Okay, all these rows. So what we can do, using if function, if this cell start with account number. Okay, if left, okay, left 7 characters. Okay, left 7 character is equal to account number, account. Okay, then we need to concatenate these rows, we need to concatenate these cells, or else we just need to repeat the account name. Okay, or else we just need to repeat the account name. And I will copy paste this formula, apply this formula to all the rows. Okay, control D. Okay, control D. And as you can see, I will just expand this screen. Okay, so you can see this conveyance charges, it is repeated in front of each rows. Okay, now let us copy paste this formula. Okay, let us copy this and I will paste special it. Friends, I will be a bit fast because we are running out of time. Okay, now if you want explanation, we will have some detailed video about it. Okay, we will have some detailed video about it. And so okay, now I have this account number and XYZ in front of it. Okay, now we can simply delete these headings, column headings. We can simply delete this column heading. So I will delete all the cells which starts with account number. Okay, we will delete this column heading. So I will select all these, control semicolon, that means go to and select visible cell, control minus enter. Okay, and after that clear filter from date. I think I just saw a query on YouTube, on YouTube live chat, that whether this can be done using Power Query. No, unfortunately not, because you are not getting proper data from bank. You need to apply sanitization. So Power Query would not help. Okay, now friends, I need to separate this. Okay, I need to separate, extract account number and account name from it. Okay, account name from it. So now account number is 15 digit. Okay, account number is 15 digit, and account name we don't know how many character it would be. So what I can do, we can simply extract account number and after that simply extract this from right. Now please watch carefully. Okay, I will copy this text to notepad. Please carefully watch what I am doing. I will copy this text in notepad. Okay, now using mid function I would extract this account number 15 digit. Okay, so if I place my cursor here, it says column number 13. So from column number 13 I have to extract 15 characters so that I get account number. Okay, so is equal to mid from this text and from column number 13 position, comma, extract 15 digits which will fetch you account number. Okay, you got this, an account number. Now for the text you need to extract column number 35. Okay, that means 34. From left you need to remove 34 characters so that you get the ledger name. From left you need to remove 34 characters so that you are left with the account name. Okay, 35 minus 1, so it would be, account name would be is equal to right from this text, comma, first count total number of characters, first count the total number of characters and minus, please remove 34 characters so that we are left with the account name. Okay, we are left with the account name. Now you can simply copy paste this formula up till the last and you get the account number and account name. Now I will again copy and paste special this, and I will remove this column and I will rename this column. Okay, I will delete this column and we can rename this column as account number, and this is ledger. Okay, account name. Now if you apply filter, you again have to reapply filter. I am removing filter and again applying filter. Okay, so we are finally we are left with the expense ledgers. Now let us start with the scrutiny. Okay, let us start with the ledger scrutiny. Now let us take some ledgers for scrutiny. Like in security guards, like Abhijit sir said, in security you have to check whether RCM is done. So I will payment to security guard for expense. I will expand this narration column, debit column and credit column, and I think the rest of the column you can simply hide. Okay, you can simply hide. So as you can see on the screen, you need to make let us see that provision is properly made or not. Okay, so friends, provision is made but wrong provision is reverse. Okay, provision is not reverse properly. Stream होता है friends. Let us check for the expenses. Okay, I can see the provision, but provision of correct amount is not reversed. Okay, so what we will do, we will have to report this in MOC. Okay, so friends, like this you can do this scrutiny. Okay, you can do the ledger scrutiny. So until you have to for ledger scrutiny you have to import this very nicely. Okay, you have to import this very nicely. So friends, I hope this is clear, and due to the timing restriction, we are not having much time. Due to the timing restriction, we are not left with it. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can simply put this question on the WhatsApp group. Okay, we have Telegram group for this, so you can put your queries to Telegram group. Okay, so you can post your queries to Telegram group. So I will just wait for Abhijit sir, and after that we can conclude. So please do let us know that in the meantime I can even show you one more ledger for scrutinization. Friends, the rest of the scrutiny I think you can conduct from your end. That is not the thing. Let's see if I can see the traveling expense ledger. Okay, traveling expense. Okay, so you can check for the bills like this. Okay, you can check for the expense, shifting of household. Okay, so this seems a very large expense. So you need to verify such types, because compared to the other transaction I can see a very large transaction. Okay, so now since you have this data in Excel, you can simply highlight these rows. Okay, like this you can simply highlight these rows and just put your queries. You can just put your remarks, observation here that you have to check this row. So friends, I hope you are clear. I hope this method is clear. So let me now again switch back my camera. Just wait a minute. Let me switch back my camera. Okay, I hope now friends, due to timing restriction, I cannot cover this very thoroughly, because this the complete expense to means completely understand this process, you at least require 2 hours session for this. But now due to time restriction, we will curtail our session to this. Due to timing restriction, we will curtail our session at this point, and we will wait for Abhijit. Abhijit sir is just arriving. We will wait for Abhijit sir to conclude the session. Okay. And friends, if you are experiencing any streaming issue, we will have we will upload a fresh session for it. We'll upload a session, recorded session for it, where we can explain it in detail. Okay, where we will split this session into multiple parts so that you can individually view the parts. Okay, you can individually view the parts. Now Abhijit sir would provide us the closing remarks.
So thank you so much, friends. I hope within the limited time span, we were able to let you know how to extract the ledger and what to do by the use of Excel. If you wish, we'll be coming out a detailed version of the same session in maybe next week, and let us try to have some hands-on working on this conversion of Finacle into Excel.
So as I discussed with Abhijit sir, we will split our session maybe in 15 or half an hour session so that you can individually view this session. So I think we will next exercise would be that you can
And
individually
any queries you are having, you are most welcome. Please let us know. You are having our email ID. It is available on
YouTube.
YouTube as well, or anyone you can contact me or Dhananjay. We are more than happy to serve you, to let you know how to do the bank audit, and we'll be happy to provide you any help you need while performing your task.
So we will end this our session here.